Hey everybody, just doing a review for this StorCube 300 watt mini power station. This is from a pretty small brand, but if you're in the market for a simple, low cost, and easy to use power station, this is going to be a pretty good option. I will have a link down in the description below for the product page for this unit. But what you get in the box with the power station is a AC charging brick, a car charging cable, and a manual. That right over there is my DC capacity tester that I'm going to be using to test out the DC capacity efficiency for this power station. But just taking a look at the power station itself right over here, right on this side, it does have all the DC ports. It does have the button to turn on the charging ports right over here. You just got to hold down these buttons to turn on each of the sections, and it does have a green light that does turn on when the section is on. In terms of the charging ports, they're pretty decent. For this power station, it does have a single 100-watt Type-C power delivery port that can be used as a input port to recharge the unit, and it can be used as the output port. There are three Type-A ports, a single Type-A quick charge port that can output 18 watts, and there are two 12-watt Type-A ports. There's a single 12-volt 10-amp car socket outlet. There are a total of four DC 5521 ports that can output 12 volts and 10 amps. There are two options to recharge. No, actually, there are three options to recharge this power station. My bad. There is the Anderson input port that can be used for solar recharging. I think the solar recharging maxes out at 120 watts. The AC recharging via the AC charging brick that comes with the power station maxes out, I think, at 110 watts. And as I mentioned before, my bad, you can recharge the power station via the Type-C port, which is a really nice touch. Right over here on this side, this is the front of the power station that has the screen. It tells you the estimated time remaining, the battery percentage remaining. This right over here is the input wattage. This right over here is the output wattage. It also tells you what's activated on the power station. So because I have the charging ports activated, that's what it's telling me right there. And right over here on this side, it has some LED lights, kind of oddly placed. I don't know, because usually LED lights on power stations have sort of that film on them, but this one does not, so you can actually see the LED lights themselves. But yeah, it's whatever. They're kind of bright, and it does have a SOS mode, of course, gotta have that. And does have the flashing mode right there. There are three-prong AC outlets on the power station. It's gonna hold down the AC button to turn them on. And yeah, as I mentioned before, the AC output maxes out at 300 watts. Nothing too amazing, but once again, this is a mini power station. Right over here on this side, it does give you the specifications. This power station does have a 294 watt-hour capacity. And surprisingly, it uses lithium iron phosphate batteries. Wasn't expecting that, considering that this is such a small brand. But it's good to see. Charging input, oh yeah, as I mentioned before, it maxes out at 110 watts via the AC charging brick. A pretty slow AC recharge rate. But what are you going to do? LED lighting maxes out at 5 watts of power usage. And yeah, as I mentioned before, that this is all these specifications. I'm just going to go ahead and do the DC and AC capacity test to see how much of the 294 watt-hour capacity I can actually pull from this power station. And then we'll move on into some AC outlet testing, some charging port testing to see how this power station actually performs. Oh, and I forgot to mention the size of the power station. Well, I'm not actually too sure about the size, but here is a Coke can for some scale comparison. Yeah, so this is a really small power station, you guys. This is my Galaxy Note 9 right over here, right next to it. It's a mini power station. And also I forgot to mention that the handle is kind of unique because it actually folds back into the power station just like that, which is a pretty nice touch. Alright, you guys, so I did run the DC capacity test via the car socket outlet on the power station, and what I ended up with was a 226 watt-hour capacity, and that gave me about a 76% DC capacity efficiency. As you can see right over here on the load tester itself, I ran the test for about 2 2.5 hours. And I guess the DC capacity efficiency would be considered good. I was hoping for at least 80%, but it's whatever. Let me go ahead and get this power station charged up to run the AC capacity test. I'm probably going to be using a crock pot that's going to be pulling about 220 watts, I think, continuously until, the power station goes from 100% down to 0%. And I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so I did finish up the AC capacity test for this StorCube power station, and what I ended up with was a 220 watt hour AC capacity, and that gave me about a 74% AC capacity efficiency. Not the best. I was hoping for at least, once again, 80% or more on the DC and AC capacity side, but I guess this puts us in between okay and good capacity efficiency. As you can see right over here, 220 watt hours on the watt meter. And with that said, let me just go ahead and start doing some AC outlet testing, and then we'll move on into charging port testing. Alright, you guys, so just going to do some quick AC outlet testing. I do have two appliances connected to the power station right now. I do have this crock pot and this mini heater. I think the crock pot maxes out at about 250 watts. The heater maxes out at 500 watts. But yeah, basically, I just want to show that you can easily power anything below 300 watts with this power station. This crock pot is going to be pulling about 215 watts right there. So that's all good to see. And yeah, basically the power station will be able to power this crock pot until it reaches 0%. This is my cat right next to me in case you're wondering what's moving. And so I can just go ahead and turn that off right there. But you will not be able to power anything that goes over 300 watts. And just to confirm that, I'm just going to turn on this heater right up here. It's going to shoot up to, yeah, there we go. So yeah, I mean, not really much else to say. Just don't power anything over 300 watts, and you will not be disappointed with the AC outlets on this power station. Alright guys, so just back testing out the recharging for this StorCube power station. I was trying to output 100 watts from the Type-C power delivery port to recharge my RAV power bank. However, anytime I connected the Type-C cable into either of these Type-C ports, the power bank would start recharging the power station. So I couldn't exactly do that. So I just skipped on to recharging the power station. And what I got happening over here is I'm recharging the unit via a U-Green 140 watt power delivery wall charger. I'm getting about 94 watts via the Type-C port only, which is really good to see. I'm going to see if I can recharge the power station faster if I can connect the included AC charging brick and have the Type-C cable also recharging at the same time. So let's see if that's possible or not. Okay, looks like it is. Yep. So yeah, I would recommend recharging this power station via the Type-C input port and the AC charging brick at the same time for a faster recharge rate. I think this is going to be the fastest way to recharge the unit in the first place. You should be able to get from 0 to 100% within about an hour and a half, considering that it does have a 294 watt hour capacity and is practically recharging at about 200 watts right here. So yeah, I guess the recharging can be pretty fast as long as you're using this dual recharging method. And also provided that you are using either a 100 watt power delivery wall charger or higher. And yeah, there we go. That is the recharging for this StorCube power station. Alright you guys, so that is my review for the StorCube 300 watt mini power station. Nothing too incredible happening over here. If you can grab this at a low price, it's going to be a pretty good option in case you're looking for a simple to use small power station. 300 watts for the AC outlets isn't going to power too many appliances, but it can power a decent amount of appliances. The charging port selection and the DC port selection in general is basically the highlight of this power station, to be honest. I mean, you get 4 DC 5521 ports, a single car socket outlet, and 4 charging ports, which includes a single Type-C 100 watt in and out power delivery port, which is really good to see. and also that dual recharging up to 200 watts via the Type C and AC charging brick dual recharging method is pretty good to see. And yeah, overall, I don't have anything bad to say about this power station. Maybe they could have done some better things with the design and probably the screen. But at the same time, it does have an estimated runtime, which is something I was not expecting from a pretty small brand. But it's good to see. I will have a link down in the description below for the product page link. I will also have a link to the review article over at chargerharbor.com in case you want to read a review for the unit. And I will see you all on the next video. All right, goodbye.